Hello, my name's Bridget Nutting and I'm one of the women's mental health workers here at Bendigo Health, and I'd like to invite Eve to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Eve Curtis and I work as a social worker in the professional development team in mental health and in the emergency department in the ETP team.
So this video is part of a small package of resources that are focused on self-soothing and grounding techniques, and they're for you to use for yourself and also for you to be able to use with your patients or clients at stressful times. So one of the metaphors that we find useful is that of an anchor with a boat. So if you can imagine a boat out at the ocean and a storm starts to whip up, the boat will often drop anchor in order to keep that boat steady and secure while it rides out the storm. So the same can be true of ourselves when we get an emotional storm happening within ourselves. So when we're stressed, we might have a range of emotions come up. It might be anxiety, anger, confusion, frustration, sadness. And it can be like we're going through a bit of an emotional storm. And times like this, it's good to have exercises and little techniques that you can use where you can drop anchor and really ground yourself in the present moment when your mind might be dragging you into the past or into the future or into planning, worrying, organising, stressing kinds of thoughts. It really helps to be able to move the mind from this busy kind of monkey mind of thought down into the body, because the body is always in the present moment. So a lot of these techniques you'll find are really focused on the body and are really helping that movement from the mind and the busy head down into the body and into an energy that is more grounding for you. So you'll find that all of the exercises that we're using within this video have a good strong base in research, and they're evidence-based practice. So sometimes when we're talking about these exercises, it helps to give you a little bit of understanding about brain science. So when we get really stressed, there's a part of the brain called the limbic system, in which the amygdala resides, and the amygdala is like a kind of a little alarm system, a threat response system within the brain that sits in that limbic system. And in the limbic system there's also, it's responsible for memory and for emotions and that kind of thing. So when we get particularly stressed, the amygdala starts to send off its little alarm, and it sends off that fight, flight, freeze kind of response. And so the brain isn't as integrated as it normally would be. It loses a bit of that integration. So a lot of these exercises are really aimed at quietening down, dampening down the activity of the amygdala and bringing in that kind of calming part of the brain, the parasympathetic nervous system, and really helping that part of the brain and the nervous system to start to operate. So when that amygdala is kind of firing off under stress, these exercises will also help the newer part of the brain, which is that prefrontal cortex, to come in and kind of take control again. So the prefrontal cortex helps with being able to take different perspectives on things, helps with calming, helps with making sense of things and making different choices. So instead of this amygdala having the dominating kind of energy, the prefrontal cortex comes over and starts to take control again. So even though some of these exercises might seem a little bit unusual to you, just bear in mind that they're all aimed at really helping our nervous system to really calm down and to de-stress, and helping the different parts of our brain to integrate in a healthier way. Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to do is movement-based. So we'll be doing a whole range of different movement-based exercises, and I'd just ask you to be conscious of your own body, so that if you've got any issues with your body or any areas of pain, that you only do things that are comfortable for your body. then feel free to leave things out or to modify them as you need to. So, as with meditation, these exercises ask you to give one thing your full focus, and in quite a bit of detail. So this really helps your busy, anxious kind of mind to take a back seat for a little while, because you're really giving your whole focus to one thing in great detail. So really try and bear that in mind as we do all of these things. So we talked about bringing the energy down from the head, down into the body, and with this exercise we're really taking the energy down into the feet. So beginning with the soles of the feet. So if you can stand with your feet about shoulder width apart and maybe slightly bent. And I want you to really be conscious of noticing the contact the soles of your feet make with the floor underneath you, and any sensations that you can be aware of in your feet while they're just contacting the floor. You might even notice the feeling of your socks around your feet, or you might even be able to notice the feeling of your shoes around your feet. Now initially what I want you to do is to just very gently rock from back to forwards, going from your heels through your foot to the balls of your feet. So just shifting the energy very slowly from the back of your foot through the foot to the balls of your toes. So not actually lifting your feet up too much, but just shifting that energy. And again, really trying to notice, you can even close your eyes if that's helpful. Really try to notice the different sensations in your feet as you do that movement back and forward, that shifting of weight. And then pause for a minute. And this time we'll move the weight from side to side. So shifting your weight from your right foot to your left foot. And right foot to your left foot. And again, when thoughts start to come into your head, as they will, because that's what our minds do, just gently noticing that and leading your focus back to what you're doing with the soles of your feet, and really focusing on the feeling and the sensation of shifting that focus of your feet on the ground. And then pausing, and this time I want you to try and make little circles in a clockwise direction with your knees. So slightly bending your knees, and then in a clockwise direction, just making little circles with your knees. And again, using that kind of curiosity of mind to really notice what it feels like in your calves when you do that, what it feels like on the soles of your feet, just those sensations, and then reversing it to the anti-clockwise circle. Again, noticing sensations in your knees, in your calves, and in the soles of your feet. Right. And then lastly, we're just going to go for a very little walk. So this is kind of a mindful walk, really concentrating on the soles of your feet. So you'll walk really slowly, beginning with the heel of your foot, all the way through to the front of your foot, and then onto the next foot. Heel all the way through, heel all the way through. And again, really noticing the feeling on the soles of your feet as you gently walk in, slowly, being conscious even of the texture of the surface that you're walking on. Very good. Okay, now the next exercise is one that's taken from the yoga tradition. Don't need to see it here. So just interlocking your fingers together and then raising them up as high as you can, almost as if you could touch the sky. And then very gently beginning to sway from one side to the other. This exercise is called swaying palms. So you might like to imagine that your feet are really deeply rooted in the earth, really grounded and rooted in a solid way in the earth. And there's a gentle breeze gently blowing the branches of this tree. So just swaying very gently and being aware again of the body sensations, that stretch up your side, the stretch a little bit into your back, and the rhythmic movement of swaying, and then releasing. And the next one, we just do a little bit of shoulder rolling. So beginning to roll your shoulders very gently from the front to the back. So very gentle rolls of the shoulders from the front to the back. And as you roll back, really feeling that stretch across your chest. And once again, and then reversing, going from the back forwards. So really feeling that stretch behind you in your shoulder blades and bringing it forward. And then this time, just very gently lifting the shoulders up towards your ears and then allowing them to really drop down, almost as if someone was behind you, just firmly, gently holding your shoulders down. So bringing them up towards your ears and then allowing them to drop down, feel really soft, really releasing. We hold a lot of tension in our neck and in our shoulders, so this is a really good one for just noticing whether you've got that tension and then just releasing it. Very good. Okay, this next one comes from the tradition of Tai Chi, and it's really a bit like a ragdoll. So I'd like you to imagine yourself as a very floppy ragdoll. Again, feet shoulder width apart, and just very gently moving from one side to the other. So you're not actually controlling your arms at all. You're just allowing your arms to follow your eyes as you move from the front to the back. So just imagining knees off lock, really floppy from side to side. And again, with that curious mind to detail, just noticing how it feels, that gentle twist of your body. Feeling the twist perhaps around your pelvic area, feeling the twist slightly down in your knees, and coming back to the centre. Okay, so this next one is called body pats, and this may seem a little bit strange to you, but sometimes when we're really, really stressed, we can feel almost a bit disconnected from ourselves. So this exercise really helps us to get in touch with our body and to realise, right, I'm here right now. So I want you to start with some firm, not hitting yourself, but kind of firm, gentle pats, beginning up at your hips and working all the way down to your feet. And back up again. And then back down again. And back up again. Now with your arms, gentle pats all the way up your arm, and then gentle squeezes all the way back down, almost like a nice little massage as you go down to your wrist again. Firm pats all the way up to your shoulder, and then gentle squeezes all the way back down to your wrist. And then with the other arm, gentle pats again, gentle but firm, and then gentle squeezes all the way through your arm, really noticing the sensation and the feeling of that. Patting again all the way up your arm, and gentle squeezes, and really enjoying the feeling of that, the sensory feeling as you do that. And then with your head, very gentle squeezes just on your scalp, almost like a gentle Indian head massage. So just really nice, gentle squeezes in your head. And then back to your legs, firm pats again, all the way down. And back again. And stop, and just see if you can notice any sensations in your body. Now I notice a little bit of tingling when I do that, a little bit of vibration, perhaps a little bit of heat, and a little bit more energy in my body when I've done that. It's kind of got my blood and my oxygen circulating a little bit more. Okay, so the next one is called palming, and again this comes from the yoga tradition. And in this one, I'll just have you rubbing your arms, rubbing your hands together to generate some heat. So generating some heat, and then very gently cupping those over your eyes. And just enjoying that feeling of heat, of warmth, and the quiet of the dark. Very relaxing and restful for your eyes. And again, rubbing the hands together, generating some heat, and gently cupping them over your eyes. Your eyes have so much stimulation all through the day. It's a really relaxing thing to just cup and give your eyes a bit of a break. And one more time, really getting that heat happening, and then gently cupping. And release. And the last thing is really just to shake it off. So really shaking off in whatever way that feels good to you. You might think about a dog when they've gone for a swim or something in a pond, and then they get out of the water and they just have a really good shake. So sometimes when you're stressed and you've got a lot of tension, it's actually good to be able to imagine whatever that you're feeling stressed about, consciously shaking it off, letting it go, shaking it off.